Me live today. Appreciate you being here. So this is our sixth installment of this particular drawing. So if you've been following along live, then you know that we've been working on this for the past several weeks, and hopefully we're getting closer here to wrapping it up. So it's been a lot of fun, and we'll be ready to start a new piece of the anatomy coming up next week. So a new piece of the anatomy in the face. So hopefully you'll be able to join me for that. All right, so we're just gonna, I did tweak and edit the eye reference over there. Hey Jan, how are you? Jan is watching over there on YouTube Live from the Fine Art Cafe. So awesome. Hope you had a good weekend. You're probably getting hit with as much snow as we are. We're getting just 7 to 11 inches is what's predicted. Okay. You know, in these final stages of the drawing is when we start making little modifications here and there. 8 to 12 inches, huh? Wow, that's a lot, Jan. Now, it might be important to keep in mind also that, you know, I'm not using the reference image that you're seeing on your screen. I'm using a printed out copy of it. So there's going to be some differences here and there. And I never think of myself as being a slave to a reference image anyway. I will make modifications to what I'm working on if I feel like I need to. Yeah, that's the way it is around here too, Jan. They're never real correct on that, are they? Around here, it's like, you know, they'll predict a lot, and then depending on where you are around Cincinnati, you may get 2 inches, you may get 5 inches, or you may get, you know, 8 or 10. Hey, Shiny, how are you? I don't know how you are catching me at 4 a.m., Shiny. That is, Shiny's over there on YouTube Live as well. That is, I don't know whether to be impressed or wonder what's going on with you that you're an insomniac up at 4 a.m. I'm just teasing with you. I'm glad you're here. All right. I'm noticing over here that this part of the anatomy I want to make sure is creating that curve over here, and then there's a shadow on the other side of where this curve in the lower lid, as it comes back towards this underside of the orbital structure right here is, and then it casts this whole area. If I did contour lines, you know, they're moving up this way. So this part of the anatomy is coming back towards the face, and then it's moving back out again. So there's going to be a cast shadow over here. is what's happening. Make sure that I depict that. So using a very, very dark pencil. There we go. Ah, I see. Shiny saying she wakes up and then watches some YouTube to go back to sleep, and usually art tutorials. Okay. You're not saying I'm boring, are you? I'm just teasing. Not going to get any ASMR out of me. Okay. Let me move this back over this way. Now I want to come back in here with my Herculaneum red. This is pretty light at the moment, and in reality, it shouldn't really be quite that bright. I think when we start out in portraiture or in art in general, we want to draw highlights much brighter than what they really are in reality. So I want to push that back and not make it quite as bright as it is right there. Hey, Melanie. Melanie's joining us over there on YouTube Live as well. It's snowing over there in Idaho, huh? You know, this has been a bad storm, really. It's snowing everywhere, isn't it? I think. It's just everywhere. If anyone's watching on Facebook, reach out. Let me know. I'm hoping we're streaming over there on Facebook. Okay. A little more red right in here. There we go. Right here at the edge of the shadow, I want there to be a little more red over here as well. Right up under here, I need more red. There we go. Ah, thanks, Melanie. Appreciate that. You're the best. Thanks for checking that for me. That way I don't have to take my eyes off of what I'm doing, and I can keep drawing and just listen to you guys. That's awesome. Thank you. All right, let's see what that's looking like. There we go. We do have some red over here. Okay, we're sort of getting outside of the scope of the drawing composition when I go down here. So I'm not going to worry about filling all that in. Mostly we were focusing on the eye. And I do want to force myself to conclude this study. So I want to look around. I want to say, what do I need to do to draw this to a close, and to say, okay, we're done with what we're depicting here. All right, so I want to move this out just a little bit right here. That's probably a little too much. Come back just a little bit more right there. This area is a little bit brighter. And then I want this to fade into that dark value. And then right up on top of the top eyelid there, the top eyelid, I want to have a little bit of darker value. I went light, went really, really light, which is fine. But now I want to push that back to be a little bit darker than what it was. So I want to head back up there in the top eyelid in just a moment. I remember to keep that pencil lead very, very sharp. I'm going to move that color up here as well. Use that right up here. Darken that up a little bit. It doesn't need to be white. It was fine to push that in a lighter direction, but then now I want it to be a little more believable now that we're getting close to being done. There we go. Use a little more of the Herculaneum red. I've got more pencils of that Herculaneum red. Looks like, based on how tiny this pencil is, I might have to break those out. Using this one up. If we took our time and we developed this even further, then we would work on all this skin underneath. And of course, that is something that we did inside Face Value and inside the eyes realistic eyes drawing course inside the Sharpened Artist Academy. So I don't know how many of you guys that are inside Face Value have taken a look at that yet and attempted, drawing along with me there with the demonstration for the single eye and then the 2-eye study. So it wasn't this eye, it was that close-up of a single eye. But inside there, so we go all the way out to the border. So we're handling a lot of the concerns that we would have if, we're drawing something for completion and, looking at the skin and all the other planes around the eye as well as just inside the eye. Of course, it's a little bit closer, a little more macro level than what we're dealing with here. Okay, take a look here. Close enough, I guess, for right now. Hey, Leonardo, thanks for joining us over there on Facebook Live. Let's see. Yes, Leonardo, it is colored pencil that we're using today. Yep. Using mostly luminance pencils for this particular drawing. Let me see here. Move down. I know this is such a detail here, but it just kind of bothers me if I don't get that sort of right in there. There we go. So Leonardo on Facebook is asking, are you using Sepia Tones color pencil set? No. I'm using the new Luminance pencils by Caran d'Ache. Let's see here. I add just a little bit darker value right here, I can create more of that illusion of curvature. And then enhance a little bit of the wrinkles right there. I don't want to get carried away here, but I could add a little bit of a darker value right next to those light values. That's probably good enough. Okay. Now I want to look at the top eyelid again. Let me look at the overall. Maybe we could work on this, enhancing this darkest area over here just a little bit. Okay. All right. Now, let's see here. I'll look at this ring around the eye here. Yeah, have you guys used the new Luminance pencils? The new colors? Leonardo, do you know which pencils I'm talking about? If you guys haven't used them yet, I would highly recommend them. They've just got some great portrait colors in them. Make sure that this appears to be a round pupil. I know we had the reflection there of the window next to it, but if I'm not careful, that can start to distort the way that the pupil appears. Use my dark indigo here. I want that to be the darkest area. Ah, there you go, Jan. Jan says over on Facebook or YouTube Live, rather, she's going to order them after she gets paid from her commission. Well, good idea. Yeah, Melanie says those new Luminance colors are the best. I would agree. They're just so good. They're just so fun to use too. Okay, let's take a look here. Yeah, so, I mean, we could go up here and we could add more color up here. Yeah, Shiny's talking about how difficult it is to read the colors on the pencils. Definitely is. Yeah, I wish they had a different system for doing that. Okay. I'm not going to draw everything up there. This is just a study after all on YouTube, so I'm not going to develop this into a complete drawing. Now what I will do is add my eyelashes, and then we're going to be good to go after that. We're not going to spend any longer on this free demo out here. Right? We could take all month long and into next month if we wanted to, but I really don't have time to do that. So, not going to. All right. Let's take a look. Some eyelashes. So, we're going to have fewer eyelashes up here as we get closer towards the inner corner of the eye. Oh, before we do that, one thing I wanted to do is I wanted to shift this color back just a little bit right in here. Now I've got to press really hard to do that. Okay. Got a little bit of a ridge here and a darker color I wanted to push back a little bit. Okay. Now, we can come in here with, what is this? This is Crimson Lake, so a very, very dark color. And start adding just a little bit of where some of these eyelashes are. I'm going to sharpen this. All right. So there's a few over here, and they're going sort of in this direction, down like this. But I want to pay attention to where they start, and then move over a little bit. And I'll come back in here with a little bit of darker color to enhance them a little bit. Right here, as we get towards the middle, some of the eyelashes are going to change direction. They're not all going to be the same length either. You can draw everything else on the eye to look pretty good and pretty accurate. And then if you, whoops, I just broke the little tiny tip of my pencil. If you, that's okay, I've got little edges now that I can use. If you mess up on the eyelashes and if you start making them look funny, like uniform or like they're drawn with some type of digital program or something, you know, how they're all evenly spaced and things like that, then you can create something that doesn't look realistic. So thinking about the direction of the eyelashes is one of the primary things. Okay, that's enough for the initial part of that lay in there for the eyelashes. So I'm come up here to the top, and they're a little thicker. So I can have a darker line, especially here where I have that a little eyelash line, a little row where they're thicker, where they are overlapping, and they're going to point out this way as we get closer towards the tear duct. And then as I move towards the middle, they're going to be more vertical. And then finally over here in this very recessed area and in the shadow, in this particular drawing, they're going to be pointing that direction. But we're not going to see those very much. The biggest thing that I want to impress upon you is that you've got a lot of vertical strokes that you can make towards the middle of the eye. And then down below here, you can make some L shapes that push into the eye and then come back out. We can create some thickness right in here. And we can think of these as very grouped together and not think of them as individual hair as much as we do grouped together clumps, little areas that are clumped together. Okay. Now let's take a look at it and see what it looks like. We can take a few and extend those just a little bit here and there. There we go. All right. So I am going to use my dark indigo, and I want to enhance just a couple of them here and there. As I get closer to this outer edge corner of the eye, I can add darker values over there. I had about 5 pencils in my left hand. That felt good. I just set them down. Just setting them down and not holding them just felt so good. Okay, that looks a little bit better. All right, so same thing up here. Even though I'm not seeing this a lot because of all the shadow up here, I still want to add a darker value. Less definition though, but a darker value up here. All right, I'll come back over, add my darker value right here where the eyelashes would naturally be grouped together. There we go. Okay, now how can I enhance this? That's the next question that I want to ask myself. You know, I could go darker right in here if I wanted to. There's a few places that I could go a little bit darker. I could actually grab this Crimson Lake. Could actually make it darker right up here, even though the reference doesn't do this, and move that down. I could create that inner edge just a little bit more, define it just a little bit more, and then move that shadow down. Just adds a little more detail, a little more realism to what I'm doing there. Helps to depict that inside edge. And then I want to move those eyelashes down just a little bit. Sometimes that's all it takes is just a little bit of shading right in there. There we go. Look around at it for just a moment. Make sure I've got enough. Going on, and the darkest areas in these eyelashes are going to be right there at the root where they begin. It's not going to be out there on the edge. I can put a little bit of information out there on the edge, but I don't want that to be a focal point. And I don't want it to be darker than the root. And I also want there to be some lighter areas up here close to that root once in a while. Not everywhere, but once in a while. There we go. Okay. I can add a little bit more gray right here. Just to enhance that little bit of that white edge. Right there. Okay. Now, I can add a little more brown. To the iris. So natural brown by Derwent Lightfast is what I'm using. There we go. I would like to hear from you guys on, we're going to be drawing the nose. So if you have any questions at all about drawing the nose, I would like to know what those questions are, what things you're interested in knowing more about regarding drawing noses. Okay. So that I can make sure I address those things when we start on that for next week. All right, let me take a look. Yeah, so we concentrated really on a lot of detail right in here, less so on everything else in the periphery here. Those are things though that we do address a lot in Face Value, the colored pencil portrait course. And I know some of you guys are inside there. Melanie is in there. And by the way, the portrait course is on sale right now for the yearly plan. The yearly option is on sale. So if you head on over to the Sharpened Artist Academy, you'll be able to see more information about that over there. And so it's on sale for a little while. Okay. So Shiny says, be interesting to see more flat wide nose like an Islander or Mori nose. Okay. Mori nose. Yeah, interesting. All right. Sounds good. Yeah, we haven't made a final decision on the exact nose. type that I'll do. So thanks for that input, Shiny. Appreciate it. Okay, let me see here. Looking around for other things to enhance this before we go this morning. Maybe some blue. I'm looking at how different the reference is on the screen you guys are looking at. Let's see. Shiny said, Mari press noses together as a greeting. I'm not real sure what you're asking or what you're saying. Okay, let me grab that violet color. See if we can just force a little bit of that violet color in here. Spell check might be messing with you this morning. Shiny, I don't know. Does that to me sometimes. There we go. Okay. You know, I think one of the biggest problems, though, with portrait features, one of the biggest things that is difficult often to learn in the beginning is, you know, how do you make them all work together? Like, how do they all interrelate, you know? So sometimes it's difficult, you know, to know what to emphasize and what to de-emphasize, what to focus on, even within a feature. But I'm talking about with all of the features on the face together. You know, what should you focus on, and then how to, you know, make them interrelate with one another. Like, how do the eyes start to interrelate and fit together with side plane of the nose, and thinking about all of those shapes as you work through your drawing, instead of thinking, okay, I'm going to draw the eye right now. Okay, now I'm going to draw the nose right now. And thinking about how, you know, this fits together, this all works together in a face, and thinking about the whole thing from the beginning, and working your way through the features, and not making them look like they're isolated from all the other features. All right. Any other ideas on, like, what might be difficult when you're approaching that part of the anatomy, the nose. When you look at the nose, what is it that is difficult for you to draw and to depict? So if you have any ideas on that, if you've got any requests, then I would love to hear that. And you can always email me that as well. And let me know if there's anything in particular that trips you up. Because I want it to be helpful. I want it to be something that you, when you follow along and watch with me, it's beneficial, you know. Hey, Oksana, how are you? Good to see you over here. Okay. All right, so I'm going to look through there one more time. I can tell the image on my computer, at least anyway, is it's looking a little lighter than what it is in reality when I'm looking at it. It's so much darker here. So I've got Nightshade, and that might be a good little compliment. Right over here. The darkest area of the shadow as we get close to where that shadow starts to turn and go back to a bit of a highlight right in there. I want to be careful and use small, tiny strokes right in here. Because if I don't, then sometimes my pencil stroke can get erratic and move right into an area that I've reserved as being brighter. And then I've created a big problem for myself. And I've got to start erasing, so I don't want to do that. I'm going to lengthen that shadow over here a little bit. That will help the lighter areas now. If I add this darker area, it'll help it to pop out just a little bit more. Come back over here on this darker side. Add a little bit of this Nightshade over here. Very, very light pressure over here as I get close to my middle value and then the lighter value as well. I don't want to make that too dark, so I'm going to use very, very light pressure. There we go. Okay, let's take a look and see what we got. So I can enhance this shadow right here just a little bit in the wrinkle right there. Maybe over here. Just a little bit. Okay. All right. I didn't see this till just now. That area right there. There we go. And then one more pass through over here with this lighter color. Now, I know there are several of you who already worked on this challenge. This was the monthly challenge for the month of January in the member circle over there in Monthly Sharpener. And we also have the full portrait of this model over there as well. But I know many of you did this already, and my goodness, some fantastic drawings are over there posted in Monthly Sharpener. It's exciting to see all those variations and all the various styles of all the artists over there. Melanie did one, and I believe Jan did one. Yeah, so it was a lot of fun. Mentioning you guys because you're on the live stream right now. Okay, many others did it as well, did the challenge. All right, I think I'm going to stop. You know that old joke, how many artists does it take to do a painting? Takes two, one to start and the other to tell them when to stop. So I'm going to tell myself to stop. Hey, thanks for joining, guys. Really appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun. So next week, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, I will start drawing a nose that time for the drawing stream. So we'll be here drawing a nose next week instead of an eye. So we're just going to call this one done this time. All right. You're welcome, Jan. Thanks for joining. We'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. All right. Catch you later, Shiny. You guys have a great day. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.